It is game night for the U.S. 90 minutes that could set the tone for the tournament. Welcome to Extra Time, only on the KHO U11 streaming app. On this program, what the Americans are facing in their group, plus those wacky prop bets and another player to watch in the tournament. But first, the wait nearly over. USA-Paraguay. Tonight, 8 o'clock, here's the current situation at pitch 25 in Edo. A little pre-gaming, if you will. The U.S. favored to win this first match of the tournament. Also happening now, Democratic Republic of Congo just wrapped up a training session here in Houston. Congo arriving yesterday ahead of its first match on Wednesday against powerful Portugal. Let's go to SaberCat Stadium. Luis Ortiz joins us live. Luis, what is Congo's mindset now facing the number 5 ranked team in the world?
Yeah, Jason, listen, their mindset is that they're not here on vacation. They didn't come to the World Cup just to visit Houston or Atlanta or Guadalajara, where they'll be playing their 3 group stage matches. They're here to try to compete and win. They say they believe, because if you don't believe, then you already lost even before the match begins. So, look, the DRC, they had a tough path to get here. First time back in the World Cup after 52 years. They had to go to a playoff, right? They weren't able to qualify directly. So they ended up playing Jamaica on neutral ground. They played in Guadalajara in a playoff match that they scored at the 100th minute in extra time in order to win 1-0. So they feel that they're battle tested. They feel that resiliency is what characterizes them, right? They talk about they are a community and a team of believing and fighting. They say, look, we fight for everything that we want. So they are here going into this game thinking that they can pull off the upset. They know, listen, they also say, look, we're humble, right? We know the reality that Portugal, as you mentioned, number 5 in the world, Colombia, another top team, but they're not afraid, and they're looking to take the fight against both of those teams.
For the next match is a tough game because we will play a very good team in the world, but we are focused on our strong, and we prepare well the game. But for us, the most important is to do a good entry, and after we will take games after games, and we are focused on the first. But for us, we have to take 3 or 4 points to go in the next.
Yeah, so you just heard from the team's manager, right? And listen, they're looking to take things one game at a time. Also, talking to some of the fans, they say, look, the style of play of DRC is that they're athletic, they're strong, they're fast. One way to describe them is it's like arrows that just go full speed. So now they also recognize that Portugal, if you give them the ball, which is their first game, right, their opening match in this World Cup, if you give them the ball, then you're in trouble. So DRC looking to win the possession battle, play defensively, a little bit maybe of a conservative style of play, if you will, because they don't want to risk too much, because if they do, then they know that Portugal will capitalize on those opportunities. So DRC looking to maybe try to take it a little bit slow, right, but then maybe pull off the upset.
Well, Luis, we can hear those Congolese fans there, so they are certainly excited for this one. Obviously, Houston being base camp for Congo. Luis Ortiz, thank you so much. And this video just in, U.S. national team heading to its hotel in Los Angeles. The team is currently at SoFi Stadium. Capacity, 70,000 people there. This is interesting. I just checked one resale site. No tickets available. None, which is really interesting. The U.S. will, of course, need big-time performances from the whole team, but one player many defenders will be focused on is this next one. Alicia Lewis now on USA's MVP.
Christian Pulisic is an American soccer star and definitely a player to watch. The 27-year-old is a winger for AC Milan and will represent the U.S. He has an impressive 32 international goals heading into the tournament. Back in 2019, he made history with his $73 million transfer, made him the most expensive American player ever. And soccer is a family affair. Both of his parents played in college. Outside of the game, Christian likes to play chess, even challenging some of the world's top players. And we hear he's a big chocolate guy. Makes sense. He was born in Hershey, Pennsylvania, the chocolate capital of the world.
And now, with today's headlines out of the way, you're seeing what's next. It is time for the kickoff. Our special guest joining us earlier to talk everything World Cup. And now we are kicking things off with Brian Lee, head soccer coach at Rice, the women's team. Good to have you in here. What's your excitement level like knowing that the World Cup is basically here?
Well, it's back, and I can remember 1994 like it was yesterday. And I'm so excited for the city of Houston to be hosting, and for our population, our soccer fans in town, it's going to be the best.
Without a doubt. Now, when we look at the teams and the big matches involved, I'm curious, what is your favorite match? Which match is the one that you are really going to be watching and watching closely? Write it on the board, the team involved.
All right. I'm going to cheat a little.
Okay.
England, Croatia.
All righty.
All right. You got a semifinal rematch from the last World Cup, but no. Red, white, and blue. USA. Hopefully my spelling's good.
You
Paraguay.
got it. Why is that?
Of the host nations, we got the by far hardest draw. Mexico, Canada have a fairly easy path. USA, every game's going to be tight, and getting those 3 points, our emotion in the team's been a little bit up and down. We've had 2 great prelim games in our last 2, but getting 3 points in that one will go a long way towards making a long run in the World Cup.
But this one on paper, this is something for an initial matchup in pool play.
In pool play, and England's a little like us. If they don't get full points, the media coverage is going to go so negative and make it so hard. I wanted to say England, Croatia, but red, white, and blue, USA, Paraguay.
So what you're saying is when people say, oh, we've got to tune out all that negative noise, it's really hard to tune it all out.
Oh, it's impossible. And those are both the big matches where the media and the outside noise is going to have a huge influence based on the result. Could be positive, could be negative.
And before the show, you mentioned to me the one player you have your eyes on is this guy, Jude Bellingham, midfielder, England. Why is that?
Well, in our game in soccer, the spine of the team is so important. England's got Pickford in goal, arguably best goalkeeper in the world. Declan Rice, center midfield, probably the best European center midfielder. Harry Kane, arguably the best goal scorer in the world. When he's on top form, Jude Bellingham is arguably the best attacking midfielder in the world, but he hasn't been on top form in his club season. If he can recreate this, go back to last year where he was with Real, England's got a great chance to win their first World Cup since '66.
When you say not in top form, what are some of the things that have been, I guess, uncharacteristic that you have seen?
Yeah, he's a really unique player where his goal scoring percentage has got to be high when he gets his chances, because he's a late runner into the box, moves very well off Kane. Maybe a little better for England, a little better suited for England than he is for Real to play his best, but he's got to take his chances when he gets them.
And you're not the only one who says that this is a player to watch. Right now, here's Alicia Lewis.
Keep your eyes on Jude Bellingham. At 22 years old, he's already a world-class soccer player. He has 6 international goals coming into the tournament. He plays for Real Madrid team and will represent his home country of England. Soccer is a family affair for the Bellinghams. His younger brother Job is on a German team. Jude made his pro debut when he was just 16 years old. He broke several youngest player records and is now one of the most valuable players in the world with a market value of about 150 million euros. A couple of quirks though. He cuts holes into his socks to relieve tension that he says is on his calves. And he's a huge fan of napping. He calls it his favorite hobby. He says catching a few Z's between training sessions and matches gives him energy and helps him focus. You and me both.
And with these matches now coming to Houston, which one or ones, Brian, would you recommend fans here try to see in person?
Well, overall, we've got a great slate, but one of the big things with the World Cup going from 32 to 48 teams is we're going to lose some competitiveness of the first round matches.
I've heard that.
I don't see Curacao giving Germany any trouble. I don't see Congo giving Portugal any trouble. Easier game 2 for Portugal, and Cabo Saudi. Saudi be interesting to see, might be able to make a run. But this game right here, not just the on-the-field action for the fans. Netherlands, best fan experience in the World Cup, bar none, and Sweden are pretty good. You don't have to be a soccer fan to go love that experience. Come out to Rice, follow the Netherlands, 2-mile walk into NRG, get yourself in the stadium 30 minutes early. It's going to be one of the best sporting experiences you've ever had.
So it's about the walk to the main event, and you're saying that that is what's going to make this special.
Oh, the ambiance around that game. I saw Netherlands play Ireland in '94. One of the best all-time sporting experiences I've been in. I've been to World Cups, and I've been to Masters and U.S. Open tennis, and lots of events. NFL games are awesome, but that's as good as it gets. I would encourage any fringe soccer fan, if you're going to go to a game, that's the one to see.
And Brian, you actually have some ties to one of the U.S. soccer greats in Clint Dempsey when you were at Furman University in South Carolina.
Yeah, I think he's a kid with Texas roots, Nacogdoches, Texas, born and bred, went to Furman University, and it's a great lesson for young people and parents who have kids into soccer and are just tuning in to World Cup. Clint was probably the 6th or 7th best recruit in his class.
Wow.
At Furman. But from day one, if I walked by the fields, there's Clint training extra. If I drove by the fields the next morning, there's Clint Dempsey out there again. And he got better and better and better. And it's a really great story. Only American to score in 3 World Cups. And to make those kind of gains, what an awesome, awesome role model.
Yeah, oftentimes we are so enamored by players and the number of stars and the recruiting rankings and all that. But sometimes it's really about what's in here and what's up here.
Yeah, absolutely. And I couldn't be any prouder to be a Furman soccer grad along with Clint, because what an example for all of us.
And now let's talk about the here and now. Your Rice program back in May, Rice falling in OT to UTSA in the American Championship game. What are your big takeaways from the season and unfortunately how it ended?
Yeah, I thought it was a great growth season, for our program. Wonderful regular season, 19 games in. We had lost the defending national champ and number 3 Memphis. To make a run to the tournament final, good growth. Soccer. One of the things people see with the World Cup in town, you can outshoot someone 16-1 and lose 1-0. It's a very unique game. But a tremendous, springboard to the future for us.
And obviously coaches are always looking toward the future. How do you believe that your team will look when you start up again?
Yeah, I think Rice has made a large commitment to our soccer program, and I think we're seeing the fruits of it in our recruiting. Our 26 class, top 20 in the country. Our 27 class is ranked even higher. So I think the future is very, very bright for us, and it's a sport of Rice. We think we can contend for national championships.
And for those who have never seen a Rice match, describe the style of play that you want to see game in and game out.
Yeah, it's high intensity, high pressing, turnover, fast attacking, 1-2 passes, getting the goal. A really exciting brand of soccer. One of the things with college soccer, we have a subbing rule where you can re-sub much more constantly than seeing a slow build-up World Cup game. And it does, for me, for the fans, it creates a more exciting atmosphere. There's more tackles, more turnovers, more chances. It's good to see.
It is, and it was great having you here. Brian Lee, head soccer coach at Rice, an expert on the whiteboard. We appreciate that. Thanks for joining us here on Extra Time.
Well, thanks for having me. Enjoyed it.
And goosebumps, tears, pride, it's all ahead as players on the U.S. men's national team describing what tonight will mean to them. Also, own goals, red cards, and coach meltdowns. It's the craziest World Cup prop bets coming up next. Canada, the second host nation to play. However, forcing a 1-1 tie today against Bosnia-Herzegovina in Toronto. The visitors striking first in the 21st minute on a corner kick. Canada with the equalizer in the 78th minute. Both teams earning a point in their group. The World Cup is big business, and that includes the betting market. Some serious wagering, some not so serious. Let's bring in Paul Krishnamurthy, oddsmaker at betonline.ag. Paul, thanks for being with us. So much to talk about, so little time. Some of these props, those isolated events during a match, your site has some really creative ones. Is there a prop which has made you laugh the most?
There's so many, isn't there? I mean, we've got 1,059 different ways to bet. on the World Cup at the moment. I liked some of the goal celebration ones. They made me laugh. 50 to 1 a player takes a selfie, 100 to 1 a player urinates. There's some of the political ones are great as well. Will Trump have received more cheers or more boos at the Paraguay game, which we did that on the Knicks game the other day, and boos was favourite, but who knows, right? Yes, so many things, so many possibilities.
Some of the other ones that betonline.ag has before the tournament started: any goalkeeper suffer injury from own goal post, any match stopped due to animal interference, will a player propose to partner on the pitch? How does the team over there come up with this stuff?
We have got the most imaginative team in the business. We think about this stuff all day long. We all like a bet, and but I like to think that our props team are the best in the business. We never stop thinking up these ideas.
Which props may be getting the most action in your mind at this point?
It's kind of across the board. Obviously, there's a huge amount of interest in all things USA, right? If you take the less of a prop, but just on the outright market, we're offering 100 to 1, which is the biggest odds in the world on USA, and we've already built up the biggest liability on them, any team future in our history, 5 times the biggest liability ever. Previously, it was Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the 2021 Super Bowl. So there's all of that, but pretty much everything you can do with America: total goals, player assists, where they'll reach in the tournament, and I expect that's just going to go on and on. Obviously, there are teams who've got a better chance, but being in America, and most of our customers being American, that's going to dominate, I think.
So obviously you're expecting or have seen this stronger market. One reason, I imagine a big reason why, is the U.S. is one of the host countries for this thing.
100%. And there's multiple reasons really, because if you think that 4 years ago, the time zone was completely different. We were in Qatar, which is a lot more favourable. And at the same time, sports betting has taken off more in the last 4 years. Football's become even more popular. And also, the time of year, if you think that last time it was in November, so you had lots to compete with on the sports front. Now this is unarguably the biggest sporting event in the world right now.
Paul Krishnamurthy, oddsmaker at betonline.ag. Thanks for joining us here on Extra Time.
Pleasure.
And now let's go back to this first match for the U.S. facing Paraguay. It is a unique situation for the U.S. Represent your country at a World Cup on American soil. Here's what it means to the players.
I don't know that you can put it into words, to be honest with you.
For these American players,
I think it will be really special,
the dream was always making a World Cup.
Oh, it'll be huge.
Few ever imagined they'd get the chance to do it on American soil.
The thought was, man, it would be cool to play in a World Cup. That was the thought.
The chance to play in your home country, have a World Cup in your home country, it's a dream come true. Everything's aligning,
Being at the forefront of it to represent my country is crazy to even think of.
Sitting here, you're thinking to yourself, what has actually happened over the course of the last 30 some odd years?
Many of these players have spent years building their careers far from family and friends.
The journey's been long.
Now they're bringing the world's game home.
Playing our careers, a lot of the guys over in Europe not having our families around, having our childhood friends not being able to see us live. I think it'd be pretty cool to finally be able to do that.
All my friends and family being able to go. And yeah, so far obviously it's a great environment, great atmosphere, and it's going to be awesome.
And that's the part these players return to again and again. The jersey may have their name on the back, but they know they didn't get here alone.
Honestly, I probably will tear up. It's puts a lot of things into perspective, all the hard work, all the sacrifices.
Even whenever I think back to the first time I put on the national team jersey on the first team level, in my debut against Portugal, I almost teared up in a way because listen to the national anthem, and just, it was like a whole flashback of like all the memories of like people doubting me and people saying I wouldn't make it.
It will be a proud moment, not just for me, but for my wife, for my kids, for my family, and anybody and everybody who's helped me get to that point, because we don't do this alone.
Enough said. And next, a World Cup-sized welcome from the heartland as one community cheers on England. A simple but heartfelt message from one Kansas city that's adopting the Three Lions as its own. Residents in Prairie Village, suburb of Kansas City, rolling out hundreds of signs with a simple message, "Good luck, England," with KC serving as England's home base. Folks there saying they just wanted to extend a Midwestern welcome.
They've traveled across the ocean to come here. They're on a bus, they're exhausted. They look out their window and they see this sign and it melts their heart.
Very cool. First batch of signs sold out quickly, but another batch of 200 or more on its way. Next, the city of Boston rolling out the red carpet for both Scotland and Haiti. However, not everyone traveling there was happy with their flight. Arriving in Boston, it's both Haiti and Scotland. Here's Haiti's plane. Haiti, Scotland playing Saturday night at 8 in Boston, which is the Patriot Stadium in Foxborough. Haiti is 83rd in the FIFA rankings. Boston may be one of America's most Irish cities, but this week it's rolling out the welcome mat for the Scots. The Scotland national team has arrived. As for the Scottish fans, they got there days ago, and the party's starting, listen, even before the plane touched down.
That's my only complaint.
So I'm going to go and have a nice whiskey at my digs, and then I'm going to go and hit the town. I'm going to find Cheers.
Yes, they ran out of beer on the plane, but listen, they were able to do what needed to be done, apparently. So after crossing the ocean, this guy's journey is to now find Sam and Woody at the original Cheers. That is epic. That's going to do it now for Extra Time. Our first week of shows in the books, and we will see you again on Monday on the free KHO U11 streaming app. Until then, a look at Fan Fest in the last hour now before the U.S.